Hello and welcome back to our weekly class of on the Torah portion. This is actually the final verses, the final chapters of the 5 books of Moses. We're at the very end of Deuteronomy. And actually, this portion is never actually read on Shabbat. Because this portion concludes the entire 5 books of Moses, at the end of the Feast of Tabernacles, we have a special holiday called Simchat Torah, which means celebrating or having joy in the Torah, in the 5 books of Moses. The custom is, therefore, that it is on that day that we read this portion. And we read the portion, part of it at night, and we read all of it the next day in the synagogue. And the custom is, as we complete the final verse of the Bible, of the 5 books of Moses, of the Torah, we then immediately read the first chapter of Genesis, as if to say, we are not at an end. This is a cycle. We may have completed this round going through the Torah, but we are immediately beginning again, as if to indicate you can never have too much study of the Torah. So today we are going to be studying those final verses in the book of Deuteronomy, which will be read the very end of the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay, so I'd like to focus actually on the very, very last chapter. The very last chapter deals with Moses' death. It begins, chapter 34, verse 1, and Moses went up from the plains of Moab to the mountain of Nebo, to the top of the mountain that is over opposite Jericho, and the Lord showed him all the land of Gilead unto Dan. Moses knows he's about to die. He goes up to this mountain. God gives him the ability to see the land of Israel, the land that he will not enter into. And then in verse 5, so Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab according to the word of the Lord. Before we get to this verse, though, which is the death of Moses, the very end of Moses, we see in a number of verses in the last few chapters a growing recognition and awareness on the part of Moses that he is about to die. Let's look at chapter 31, verse 14. Now, he's already said this. He's already himself said, he's already appointed Joshua as his leader. He knows he's about to die. But in verse 14, we have God speaking to Moses, and the Lord said to Moses, "Behold, your days approach that you must die. Call Joshua and place yourselves in the appointed tent that I may give him a charge." So here we have a direct statement on the part of God. How many people have that statement? How many people hear that message from God? You're dying today. You're dying tomorrow. You're dying very soon. It has to be, on the one hand, a very special, in a way it's a gift, to know when you're going to die and prepare yourself for that day. And indeed, Moses has been preparing himself throughout the book of Deuteronomy, making sure to hand over his legacy, to teach and summarize the messages that he feels he must transmit to the nation of Israel before he dies. That is something that's going on throughout this.
To watch this program in its entirety, go to www.glc.us.com or simply click the link below.